This episode, I want to talk about how it is important to tell students why they are going to learn what they are going to learn. For example, I recently had a program in the big FM radio station 92.7, and the person there asked me, ma'am, you're a math teacher. I've always been wanting to ask. I studied trigonometry. Why did I have to do it? Today I'm in a totally different line. I don't use it, and I don't even know, except for those professors who are going to be teaching the students in colleges or in schools, are the ones who are going to use trigonometry. I really feel it's a waste. Then I realized that as an educator, it is important to tell the children why they need to learn trigonometry. So I asked him a very simple question. I said, do you by any chance use Uber or Ola? He said, yes. Yes, ma'am, definitely. I think rather than drive my own car in such a city, I would prefer, using the Ola or the Uber or the other options which I have. I said, then you're using trigonometry. He was surprised. He was taken aback. He says, what are you saying, ma'am? I remember trigonometry as sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, and then you have sine square theta plus cos square theta is 1, etc. And it was all about heights and distances. Where am I using when I use call for an Uber or an Ola? I said, that's exactly what. How does the Uber or the Ola know where you are? Because it finds out your location, right? And all that is because of trigonometry. The GPS collects the signals on where the latitude, longitude of the person who is booking the cab is located. So this is all trigonometry. So had the teacher told him that, okay, trigonometry is going to be useful in all these areas, not only with respect to the Uber or the Ola, but also with respect to various other things in terms of the satellite, in terms of the height of the ocean tide, children would be interested in learning such concepts. So one such a concept on trigonometry and the tips and tricks for it is something which we will see now. So in various exams, you have questions from trigonometry, something like what I am sharing here. For example, you have a question, say sine square 10 plus sine square 20 plus sine square 30 plus etc. Plus sine square 80. What is the value of this? Now, the trick here, what I want to tell you students, is to always look at what is the data that is being given. Is there something, remember trigonometry is all about right angle triangles. So is there something which is about, whether it is for example, a sine square theta, and is it related to a sine square 90 minus theta or a 90 plus theta, etc. Try and see if you can find out some trick related to that. So here, if you see 10, 20, 30, etc. till 80. Why does it stop with 80? So is there a connection between 10 and 80? Yes, we see that 10, and you have 80 as nothing but 90 minus 10, which is here, which is exactly here. You have a 20 and you have a 90 minus 20. So you can see that there is a combination in terms of sine square theta and sine square 90 minus theta. And we know that sine square theta plus sine square 90 minus theta is 1. So since we know this, all that we need to find out is how do I join this or couple it up or group it up. So here I have sine square 10. Let me couple it up with a sine square 90 minus 10. So a sine square 10 and a sine square 90 minus 10 is nothing but a sine square 80. Similarly, a sine square 20 plus a sine square 90 minus 20, which is 70. So I'm just going to write it here for you. This was to explain on what grounds we are doing it. Sine square 20 plus sine square 70 plus sine square 30 plus sine square 60. Remember, 60 is nothing but 90 minus 30. So we are trying to couple these up in the form of what we have here as sine square theta plus sine square 90 minus theta, because we know the value of that is 1. Are we left with more? Yes, we have sine square 40 plus sine square 90 minus 40 is nothing but sine square 50, and that's what we have as data. Remember, there are 8 of those terms, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these terms too. So now when you see that each of those which we have underlined are nothing but sine square theta plus sine square 90 minus theta, which is 1. So we have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is nothing but 4. So just look at the small tips and tricks in terms of how do I use the data which is given there. Does it add up to something around 90? Is there a formula that I can use? And then try and join up those particular terms in the way that you know the formula and arrive at the answer. I've explained it in detail so much, but it takes less than a minute for you to get that answer and immediately write it. And you generally have these as MCQs, so you can immediately tick the correct option.